Let's have a look at this. Ruto to jet out for the first time since onset of Gen Z protests. President William Ruto is scheduled to leave the country for the first time since slowing down on his foreign trips due to the financial challenges caused by the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024. The head of state will be attending Rwanda's President Paul Kagame's inauguration following his win in the recently concluded general elections in Rwanda. President Paul Kagame will be sworn in for his fourth term on Sunday, August 11, in a ceremony expected to be a grand celebration of his leadership. Several heads of state and government are expected to attend the inauguration of Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, following his overwhelming 99% victory in the July 15 elections. Confirmed attendees include the President of Kenya, William Ruto, and Tanzania, Samia Suluhu. So Ruto has confirmed that he will be attending that ceremony. We know recently Rwanda had its presidential election where Paul Kagame won with a whopping 99% of those who voted. 99%. Yes. I want us to dig deep into this story, in which I'm going to explain why for the first time since the onset of Gen Z protests, William Ruto is flying out of the country. Why is he flying out of the country now? Why could he not do it maybe some other times? If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. The first reason William Ruto is flying out because he thinks he has subdued Gen Z protests and the threat is no longer real. Upon joining forces with Raila Odinga and the opposition, we saw Kenyans in opposition strongholds, some supporting Ruto. So in one way or the other, Ruto believes strongly he has neutralized the protests. That's why he is flying out of the country. There is no real threat back at home. The second reason, I'm seeing a William Ruto wants to test the waters. What can happen or what will happen if he leaves the country and is testing the waters using a nearby country, not a very far off destination. If he flies out of the country and he comes back safely without any incident, I'm seeing a William Ruto who will now fly off to a far off destination, maybe to Europe, to Asia, or even to America. But he's just using this to test the waters. If he succeeds, he will fly to a far off destination. The third reason, I'm seeing a William Ruto who wants to prove to the international community, and in this case, he wants to prove to Africa that it's now business as usual in Kenya. There is nothing to worry. Anybody can just come to Kenya. Things are back in control. He's fully in charge. That's also something I'm seeing as to why William Ruto is trying to make that Rwanda trip. Another reason, I'm seeing a William Ruto who just loves traveling. Yes, he was really longing to fly out of the country. So Ruto is just an addict of flying out of the country. And in the weeks he has been confined in the country, I'm seeing a William Ruto who was really suffering. Now that the protests are dying down, Ruto is seriously willing to fly out. I'm seeing a William Ruto will be back to his usual routine of constantly and regularly flying out of the country. What does all that mean, ladies and gentlemen? I'm seeing a William Ruto who has not yet learned anything. A William Ruto who does not understand why Kenyans are on the streets protesting. Kenyans are against these frequent trips by William Ruto abroad. Those are some of the issues that force Kenyans to protest. It appears William Ruto has not yet learned anything. And I'm saying that because if he succeeds in flying out of the country and he comes back safely and peacefully, I'm seeing a William Ruto who will make more and more trips. So he has not yet learned anything. Secondly, I'm seeing a William Ruto who is destined for destruction because as he makes these trips, he's just annoying Kenyans. So this anger is building up slowly but surely. And it will reach a time again, kitalipuka. We never expected that Kenyans could storm and occupy parliament. It's something that did happen. And in the last 2 years, William Ruto was misbehaving, but Kenyans were just giving him time to see if he could rectify things. When it became clearly that he was not going to rectify things, Kenyans took to the streets. And even right now, Kenyans are studying William Ruto very, very keenly. And it will reach a boiling point where Kenyans again will take to the streets. So William Ruto should stand advised that Kenyans are against some of these trips, unnecessary trips is making out. He could have as well just sent somebody. You know, a delegation accompanying the president and a delegation accompanying maybe a CS, those delegations are different. A president's delegation will incur more expenses. I strongly believe that if William Ruto does not change his ways, then we may see Kenyans once again on the streets. Emotions are building slowly but surely. And when it reaches the boiling point, kitalipuka. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, for the first time, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Ruto's flight to Rwanda just confirms he's not listening to Kenyans. And it also confirms that maybe as time goes, William Ruto might make even more trips than what we have seen him making in the past 2 years. It's as if the floodgates will be open for him now to fly out. And that's why I believe maybe Ruto is destined for destruction and nothing will save him or can save him. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.
It's not clear why the police are obscuring their plates. That's one of the reasons why the protesters are so angry, that police were not uniformed, who were hooded, covering their identities, masking their plates, are on the streets, applying excessive force on largely peaceful protesters. And then, as we were just speaking, as they're leaving, they fire even more. Ah! That was aimed directly at me. He's aiming directly at me. He's aiming directly at me. Ah! He's shooting directly at me. Why are you shooting at me? Why are you shooting at me? Why are you shooting at me? There's a flashbang there, watch out. He is still shooting.